Hey riders, how you doing? Hope you're having a great day. So we're gonna start our daily streaming today, and we're gonna focus on ADA today. If you want me to check another coin, just leave a comment. It will be a short stream because we're just gonna take a look at one single coin. But the idea of this stream, when we take a look at one single coin, is that you understand our process, so you know how to analyze other coins as well and take your own decisions. Because price action is the same, and no matter what coin stock uh, you are looking at, the decision process is the same. All right. So let me share my screen here. Let me share my screen here. All right. So this is what I just shared with you guys just a couple minutes ago. So this is the daily chart for ADA. All right. What we see here is that ADA has these green waves and are slowly turning into red waves. When red waves are starting to appear, then it's like a warning signal that the trend is losing some strength, at least on this time frame, and it could potentially start trading lower. And that's exactly what happened here. We saw red on the daily chart, and price went down, bounced from this key level here from our indicator, and went down again to enter this red wave. And it's right now, once again, at this key level that worked very well one, two, three, four times in the past. All right. So far, ARA is holding this level. This, as I mentioned, is a very interesting point for risk reward. You can enter a trade low in this key level and have a stop loss just around this week at probably 54, 53 cents. So this is one interesting point, one potential level for ADA to bounce. And remember, this is all probabilities. Nothing is for certain, but what we do is how do we identify some relevant levels where our risk reward is the highest as possible, and then we enter a trade there. So if the probability fails us, because it can always go the other way, our loss is minimal because we enter at that turning point, which would be here around 57 cents. All right. Also, we're gonna take a look about this. A look to this second scenario a few minutes later. So something else about this level, which has my attention, is also that if we go to the weekly time frame, and if you're not familiar with time frames, each candle has a different time frame. In this case, for the weekly, one candle represents one whole week. As in the daily, one candle represents one day. All right. So what's going on the weekly? We see that ADA is printing these higher highs. All right. And right now is touching our rider band. And the rider band is just some moving average with some covering there for trend detections. And is right now testing the rider band as well. So I love when we have this kind of confluence, when we have the daily time frame telling us that there is a testing some key level, and then we zoom out to the weekly time frame and we saw the price testing the rider band. That makes that level much stronger. We have confluence both on the weekly time frame and on the daily time frame. And if we take a look at the weekly time frame, the trend is still clearly bullish. We see the band is green right now. So that means bullish. Our trend strength here indicator also green. Uh, it does went to light green, went from full bright green to light green on the weekly time frame, meaning that the trend is losing some strength, but it continues to be slightly bullish. You can see also that the band here is flattening a little bit, but it's still bullish. All right, so we have some confluence here. Confluence on the daily time frame, confluence on the weekly time frame. That makes this level a very, very interesting and high probability level for a bounce for ADA. Could take a while. We could have like one quick bounce from here on daily time frame, and maybe it could take a week or two if we take a look at the weekly time frame for the bounce to complete and continue printing some higher highs. That would be totally expected. Uh, and I see a lot of you guys, especially the newbies, um, a little bit desperate with ADA price action because we say that it's bullish and it is not pumping, other coins pumping faster than ADA. It is totally normal. You have to understand that we could use a micro chart to understand the big pictures where price movement takes weeks or even months, and a whole different thing is when we do some trading analysis, like what we're doing right now, when we analyze what's most probably going to happen the following days or the following 1 to 3 weeks. It's a very different scope. You have to have that clear. All right. So we talk about this level for ADA. And this is another coin. Remember that we talk about confluence. All right. Um, so I love to find confluence not only for on time frames but also among different coins, especially the leading coin. So for example, for crypto, of course, the leading coin is Bitcoin. For stocks, I always take a look at Nasdaq. Now, if I trade a stock, I take a look at what Nasdaq is doing. If Nasdaq is testing support, then most probably stocks that I want to get in is going to bounce. So what is doing Bitcoin right now on the weekly time frame? And I also share this on our Twitter or next. And what did I wrote here? What did I write here? BTC is testing parabolic lines once again. This red line is the parabolic line. As long as this line holds, there is no reason to consider a major correction. Best to wait for weekly candle to close this Sunday. Okay. So in other words, Bitcoin is also testing support in the form of this parabolic line here on the weekly time frame. So we have another confluence. ADA at a key level on the daily time frame, testing rider band on the weekly time frame, and Bitcoin testing the parabolic line on the weekly time frame. Also, what this tells us is that if Bitcoin bounce from here, from this line, then ADA will pump almost for sure. For sure, ADA will pump. And of course, if Bitcoin fails to hold this line and start trading below, especially if Bitcoin closes below this line at around 65,000, 64,000, if we have a whole candle below this line here, then most altcoins will crash. We have a deeper correction on altcoins. But even if this happens, the trend is still bullish for Bitcoin. All right, but we're gonna do a separate video for Bitcoin right now. The only thing that you have to know for Bitcoin right now is it seems to be taking a break, but it's still testing that parabolic movement. And even if it fails, it will continue being bullish, but it could go down to test the 54 level, 55 level here to test the right band, and that will still be bullish. All right. So very important to know what is going on with Bitcoin when you're trading altcoins. Okay, I told you that we were gonna take a look to this second scenario here for ADA that will most probably play out if Bitcoin fails to hold the red line. See, we prepare for everything here. So this second scenario on the daily time frame, we also see this second key level confluence here around 45 cents, 50 cents. Let's say a middle ground here, 48 cents. And it's highly likely for ADA to reach here if this key level fails and if Bitcoin fails to hold the red line. Okay, this will be our next point. I wouldn't buy ADA at these levels, here at 54, 52, 51. If there is a crash, then I would wait for price to enter this zone. This is how you use these charts. And when I also started my trading journey, there was a lot of saying that, oh, you're saying that the coin will go up, or if not, it will go down. Of course, it's all about probabilities. What we have to do, or we have to chart, is what are the probabilities telling us. when is a moment with high probabilities for a bounce, and if it fails, well, it fails, but you have a minimum loss because you enter at a very uh, high probability moment for the price bounce. That is what trading is all about. Okay, so this is my second resistance level if this fails. All right. So this is a tweet, I mean, from October 2023, when we share like a list of coins, probably around 20 coins that were inside this box with some bounce signals. This is a weekly time frame, but we zoom out to understand the complete structure of the price, and we share this tweet, and almost, all those coins are around 3 to 10x or even 15x from this tweet. Um, and why I mention this is because it's very, very important for you to understand always first the macro structure. When we shared this, there was almost no one on X, no one paying attention, but that's when you have to pay attention, when no one is doing it. When everyone left the crypto space, this was very obvious. We have this macro downtrend that was broken slightly a few weeks later than this, and we have a huge bump on ADA and on all coins. All right. Let me see. Okay. This is it, guys. This is for ADA right now. As I mentioned, expecting a bounce from here. High probability that we see a bounce from here, especially if Bitcoin holds this red line, which I think is very likely. But in the case it fails to hold, then we just wait patiently for this second level and see if we enter a position here. Also, just to complement using our indicators, this is the weekly time frame for ADA. Sorry, let me share my trading view. Give me a sec. Meanwhile, I'm gonna share with you guys my trading view live. So this is my trading view chart. ADA continue bouncing a little bit from this level, so this trade is already in profits. And this is the same chart on the weekly. And you can see on the weekly, there's also a key level on this 48 cents. And that is confluence with the daily. On the daily, there's also a key level around this zone. So this is a very, very strong zone. If ADA fails to hold, and if it dumps very quickly or fast, then this will be a very, very potent level. I do expect for ADA to bounce hard from here. Because it is a key level on the daily and it is also a key level on the weekly. Also, the other thing I am waiting for ADA. Remember, I mentioned that I took some profits probably 3 weeks ago on ADA, around here. The only thing that I'm waiting for ADA on the weekly, yeah, we're talking about high transfer, not necessarily trading, maybe some spot with no leverage. I am waiting for this signal for this oscillator. You see this oscillator here? It printed a lower high on the oscillator. No, the price printed a higher high. The oscillator printed a lower high. This is a bearish divergence. We also see this red circle here, red wave, lower high. So that's why I took some profits here because this move was expected. So what I would love to see for ADA now is for this wave to flip green and for a green silk core topic here. All right. And it could happen. ADA needs a pump for this wave to flip green first. So on the second scenario, if price goes down to this 48 cent zone, this will be a great area. Oscillator will be down here. This will be a great moment for oscillator to flip green. If oscillator flips green here, we have this green circle around this zone, then for sure, with very high probabilities, it will bounce hard for here. Okay, but one step at a time, as I always say. So this is it, writers. I think this is all for today. I see no request for me to analyze other coins. Just let me check. Uh, price right there. Yeah. So this is it for today's, guys. I hope this analysis um, was very interesting for you. I hope you learned something from this. For now, we're streaming twice a week. This time was ADA. Probably next time is going to be Bitcoin or some other coins you requested. From time to time, I'm also going to talk about Nasdaq stocks because I trade almost everything that has a nice looking chart using our indicators because it makes much easier for me to analyze assets much faster. So that's what I do. That's what works for me. Remember to visit our sites, writeralgo.com, if you want to get access to our indicators. There's also some free training material there for our indicator, but also for newbies, regardless of what tools you use. So I do recommend you visit our site. Have a great week. See you later.